Hello, welcome to Bits and Biology. My name is Liz, and today I am going to do a solo playthrough of Keystone, North America. Keystone, North America is a 1 to 4 player game designed by Jeffrey Joyce and Isaac Vega with artwork by, and I'm probably going to say this a little bit wrong, Irem Erbilish, Jan Tamba, Alyssa Minold, and Patricia Casarubios, and published by Rose Gauntlet Entertainment. The solo game should take somewhere in the vicinity of a half an hour, so let's get started. We are mostly set up for the solo game. I am not going to do a full rules teach. I've already done that in another video. But honestly, this is such a straightforward game that even if you're not already familiar with the rules, if you're watching this video to see if this is something you might be interested in, you should be able to understand the rules pretty quickly. For the solo game, they do provide what they call a field journal. This has a collection of 20 different scenarios, so it's kind of like a campaign. And the premise is that you are a fledgling field biologist. This is your field journal. And they tell you that with this book, you'll find the different assignments you'll be expected to complete. There are 3 important parts to pay attention to when completing a new assignment. All assignments require you to set up the game in a unique way. So each of these 20 assignments will have us set it up in a unique way. So it's different challenges for each assignment. It says sometimes researching requires a new approach. So make sure you always check the assignment setup to make sure you're starting off right. Most assignments may have special rules for you to follow, and so if those special rules ever conflict with the regular game rules, the special rules would take precedent. And it says all assignments have unique win conditions, and when there are multiple, they must be satisfied simultaneously. Assignment 1 is called Orientation Day, and there's a little narrative here that basically is setting you up as being out in the field for the first time working with seasoned field biologists, and so you're paired up with somebody who knows what they're doing. And our setup here, let's set this down for a minute, our setup here, shuffle the species cards and draw 6 for the fields. Okay, we have some interesting animals out there. We'll take a look at them in a minute. We're going to use skill tokens 3, 4, and 9. So these are the skill tokens. The numbers are in the top right corner, so I've chosen 3, 4, and 9. These are going to allow us to do special actions as an option on our turn. All wild cards are available this game. So these are the wild cards over here. These are cards that we can pay a whopping 10 synergy tokens for to put on our board. But basically, if we're in a pinch and we need a particular season or habitat. And it says use secret objective card 10, observe behavior. So that's this objective card here. And basically we are, let's see if I can get that a little closer. We are trying to get spring symbols in this configuration. Now we can rotate this any way we want, but they just have to be in that configuration. We want 2 endangered species diagonal to each other. 3 fall symbols, all in a row, and again, these can be rotated. And then 4 of these tags anywhere on our board. And so these tags are meant to symbolize where you tag an animal so that you can track its movements. And then take 5 synergy tokens. So we start with 5 synergy tokens. There are no special rules for this assignment, and our assignment is to end the game with 50 or more victory points. So let's see if we can do that. So this is the player board here. It is a 4x4 grid on which we will be putting these species cards out on the grid to make interconnected ecosystems, basically to score the most points. And as we go through the game, I'll be pointing out how points will be scored. On my turn, I have a choice of 2 actions. I can either take a species card from the field, or I can do one of these special actions over here. Our choices this game on the active side of the skill tokens are to move 2 cards. I do this one at a time, so I can't simply just switch places, but I can move 2 cards on my board. And then I must discard a card from the field. Now the top action is optional, the bottom action is not optional. You always have to do the discard, but honestly in a solo game that becomes quite useful for cycling through these cards a little faster. This one straight up gives you 8 synergy tokens, and you must discard 3 cards from the field. And this one allows us to put 2 research tokens on an animal, on a species. Doesn't have to be an animal, as you can see, there are a few plants in the game, on a species that has that endangered species symbol on it, like this black-footed ferret here. So that's the endangered species symbol right there. All right, so I think the first thing I want to do is probably take a look at these animals. And what I'm trying to do is get consecutive numbers that also have matching habitat symbols down here on the left side, and that will make an ecosystem. Additionally, these keystone species, the ones that have, that have this key in the upper right here, those are going to allow us to score our ecosystem twice for each of those in a particular ecosystem. Additionally, I'm trying to accomplish these objectives over here. So one thing I'm trying to do is sort of think about these consecutive numbers. And I see that out of these, the gray wolf is going to give me the most variety or the most versatility in habitat symbols, and I can put that, so I'm going to have to pay a synergy token, put that on the raccoon because I'm skipping the raccoon to get to the northwestern gray wolf. It has 3 habitat symbols on it. It has the forest woodland symbol, desert grassland symbol, and the Arctic alpine symbol. And it is a keystone species, so that's going to help me with scoring. So I'm going to put that here down in the corner, and I'm thinking I can go 2, 3, 4, 5, 2, 3, 4, 5. So in my column, in my row, if everything goes right. It doesn't always. It doesn't, however, help me fill objectives, so I need to be mindful of that, but it is a good card to start with. All right, let's see, what do we have out here? We have 1 spring symbol, that helps us. We do have 3 fall symbols, that's quite useful. Tags. 2 of these have tags on them, and I have 2 endangered species, the black-footed ferret and the American bison. The black-footed ferret is an interesting story. These guys were actually reduced to 11 individuals in the wild in Wyoming, and when and they were actually thought to be extinct in the wild, but I think that's true. They found the 11, they rounded them up and actually took them into captivity to start a captive breeding program, and they have been quite successful in releasing them back out in the wild. These are obligate predators on black-tailed prairie dogs. That's their food. All right, little stalling for time to make my decision here. I like that American bison. It does have an endangered species symbol on it. It does have a desert and a forest symbol, so I think, poor raccoon, you're not necessary yet. We're going to put another synergy token there and take this American bison and put it down here. Okay, let's see what we've got coming out next. Monarch butterfly. Monarch butterflies are cool. They do, as you probably know this, that long migration from north to south. They all congregate in a specific spot in Mexico for the winter, and then they migrate back north. So they go all the way from, I think it's southern Canada and northern United States, down into Mexico, and then back in the springtime, head back north to spend their summers way up north. And the amazing thing about this is that they actually have 4 generations throughout that round-trip migration, on average 4. It can be 3 to 5, I think. I don't think they get up to 6. And so it's individual monarchs who have never taken that journey before who take up the next leg of it. And they actually have a compass in their head that helps them navigate that. It's pretty cool. All right, so let's see. Do we have a 3 out? Oof. We have a preponderance of 2s. So let's think. I have that rock ptarmigan is pretty cool, and it has a fall symbol on it. The black-footed ferret has the desert habitat, which matches my American bison. And that has a spring symbol and an endangered species. That's pretty cool. The black-tailed jackrabbit, yeah, I think black-tailed jackrabbit has a tag and a fall. Let's see. Let's go for the black-footed ferret. Poor raccoon. Just keep skipping him. I used to work in I worked in the Everglades for one winter, and I worked in a restaurant there. And every morning, the cooks would have to go out and lower a ladder into the big, huge dumpster in the back because there would invariably be a raccoon in there, and they would lower the ladder in to let the raccoon out because they had gotten in there overnight and then couldn't get out. Okay, let's see. What do we have now? Oh, whoops, I meant to put this over here, 2. Yeah, because 2 doesn't go right before 4. Sorry, meant to put, oh, and I have been forgetting. Caught myself just in time. Okay, let's back up a minute. First, I put down the northwestern gray wolf, and it was not adjacent to anything because it was the first thing that I put down. But once I put down the American bison, what I want to do is look at the matching habitat symbols, and I get a synergy token for each matching habitat symbol that is adjacent to the card that I just put down. So in this case, there are 2 on this northwestern gray wolf, so I get 2 synergy tokens. Now the black-footed ferret is not next to anything, and I don't have any 3s yet. That's a problem. Okay, red wolf. I wonder if we could do the same thing going up and put the red wolf up in that corner. That's an idea. That's way over there, though. I can't get to that one with my synergy tokens right now. That rock ptarmigan is looking pretty good. I think I'm going to go for the rock ptarmigan. Oh, but he's only got 1. Let me think about that for a minute. He only has 1 habitat on him, and if I put him up in this corner, what am I going to do across there? If I put the red wolf here, he does not have that Arctic alpine symbol. I think it is time for me to start thinking about discarding things from the field and opening up my options a little bit. So I'm going to do this skill action, skill token here. It's going to give me 8 synergy tokens because, as you've already seen, those are quite useful. Let's see, I already had 4, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. So I've got my 8, and now I have to discard 3 cards from the field. I keep skipping over this raccoon. I don't think I need him. He doesn't fulfill any objectives, and right now he doesn't fit with what I have on the board. That's not to say he won't fit later, but oh well. And then, so I have to discard 3. Let's save the rock ptarmigan. That might be useful. The sugar maple helps us with an objective. The monarch butterfly, although useful because it has all of these symbols, I don't need a 1 right now. Oh, I don't know. It doesn't help me with any objectives, but gosh. So many decisions. You know, it doesn't help me with any objectives. I'm going to get rid of that. 1 more. Sugar maple helps me with an objective, and it gives me a keystone species. The jackrabbit helps me with 2 objectives, as does the red wolf and the ptarmigan. So I think the sugar maple loses out because these 3 that are remaining leave me with the most options. Why do we only have... Did I not replace 1, 2, 3? Oh yeah, 6 in the field. That makes sense. Okay, so refill this. So as you can see, what I did was I moved those all the way over to the right, and then I refill moving from right to left because as we go, cards become more expensive to get moving from right to left. So we're always refilling from the left. All right, let's see what. Ooh, we have a 3. Oh, that pronghorn antelope will fit right here and give me another desert symbol. So let's keep that in mind, but that's a long ways to the left. So let's look. We still have a rock ptarmigan and our jackrabbit, our red wolf, bighorn sheep. Ooh, I like that bighorn sheep. I like that. Well, the bald eagle doesn't help me with any objectives. The bighorn sheep helps me with that fall, getting the fall symbol all in a line. Let's see. You know, I'm going to go for that bighorn sheep. Why not? 1, 2. Oops, I only need 3 for that. And I'm going to put him right here because he has that Arctic alpine symbol and he has 1 other symbol. So the desert symbol I could maybe do something with going that way. In fact, actually that pronghorn antelope's now looking pretty darn good because it has a fall symbol and a tag and a desert symbol. So, you know what? let's see. Let's do the black-tailed jackrabbit. I've got a plan brewing. We'll do the black-tailed jackrabbit. I get this synergy token that's on it, and I'm going to put this here, because if I put the pronghorn antelope here, that's going to give me those 3 fall symbols all in a row. I like that. I'm still thinking about that red wolf. Bald eagle. There's bald eagles that nest nearby here that actually have their own YouTube channel. This Saint Vrain, it has a long name, but they're the Saint Vrain eagles, and they should be laying eggs any day now. I haven't checked in the past few days. The last I saw them, the male and the female were at the nest, and they were arguing over decorations, basically, building back up their nest after it being empty for the winter. Okay, rock ptarmigan is starting to look a little better. Red wolf, I'm still not sure about the red wolf. It does help me with 2 objectives. I do have an endangered species here, except I don't have one diagonal, so that's already a lost cause. So is the black-footed ferret. Huh, that might not have been too smart. I might have to think about moving something a little later. I forgot to flip that over. I think I'm going to go for that pronghorn oh, whoops. When I placed the bighorn sheep, he has 2 matching habitat symbols, so I get 2 synergy tokens. Now I'm going to spend 3 of them to get this pronghorn antelope and place it right here. Because the way that points are scored, like I said, is to get consecutive numbers with the same habitat symbol. So right now I have 2, 3, 4. They all have that desert grassland symbol on them. So right now this is an ecosystem. It is fulfilling an objective. Oh, and I have 2 tags. Didn't even notice that. Here I have a 4 and a 5. They both have the Arctic alpine and the desert symbols, so I could go either way going up. Although I'm using a lot of desert, I don't know how many of each there are. I've played this 5 or 6 times so far, but I haven't gotten good enough to know the different cards yet. So we definitely need a desert symbol here because the black-footed ferret only has that desert grassland symbol on it. So burrowing owl, oh, that could be good there. It's not going to help me with my spring objective, unfortunately, but it does come with a tag. Okay, I'm looking at that red wolf, and I'm thinking this might work. It does have that spring symbol, and it has an endangered species symbol, so I get these 2 synergy tokens. I'm going to put that up here. Oh, and I forgot again. So I placed this pronghorn antelope. It has a matching symbol here, here, and here, so that would get me 3 synergy tokens. The red wolf, on the other hand, gets me none because there are no adjacent species. Okay. One of these days I'll remember to do that right when I put it down. Okay. Oh, Canada lynx. Oh, spruce fir moss spider. These guys, these guys are so cool. So they're endangered. They're highly endangered. I would call them critically endangered, actually. This is the world's smallest tarantula. They live in the what they call the high mountains in North Carolina, above about 5,000, 5,300 feet, I think, in these moss mats. There's very few of them left. They're critically endangered. Very cool. They're tiny. They're about 1/10 of an inch, or maybe 1 to 2/10 of an inch big. Tiny, very tiny. Okay, so let's see what we've got here. I'm still looking at that rock ptarmigan. That's still looking good. I don't need the fall symbol anymore, but the tag is looking good. And that Arctic symbol, but I'm a little worried about the fact that it doesn't have any other options. And actually, that red wolf does not have an Arctic symbol, so I'm not sure I want that there. The long-tailed weasel is looking good for that spot, actually, because it has these different habitat symbols that match going down. It has the desert, has the Arctic alpine, and it has the desert and the forest. So actually, let's go for that long-tailed weasel. It does not, however, help me with any objectives. But I feel like I'm doing okay on objectives, so let's put that there. It doesn't get me any synergy tokens. All right. Musk ox. Ooh, that has a spring symbol and a tag. The Canada lynx has an endangered species symbol. That would be a good one right there if the number was a little different. Do have that spruce fir moss spider. Oh, and that's a 2. That's going to be a 3. It doesn't match with my jackrabbit. Burrowing owl. I think I want, it would be nice to have something with a spring tag here. Is it time to clear out the thing again? I don't think I need that Canada lynx. Well, actually, the Canada lynx would go good right there. And that would give me some options with that objective, with the endangered species objective. Doesn't help me with the spring symbol, though. And now I'm starting to run out of spaces to put that spring symbol. I'm getting a little worried about that. You know, that rock ptarmigan's not looking so good anymore. It does have a tag, but how many do I have so far? No, just 2. But those can go anywhere. They're not limited. I think I'm going to jump on that burrowing owl. Actually, oh no, because the spring symbol. Okay. I am going to research. I'm going to research a species. So this allows me, and I want to make sure I'm reading this right because it seems kind of strange. So this one right here, you may place 2 research tokens on an unresearched card with the endangered species icon on your player board. So it looks like it goes 2 of them on one animal. It seems strange to me, but it's the way it reads. So I'm going to do this skill action here. I get 2 research tokens. I get to put them on an endangered species of my choice. These count as points at the end of the game. So I'm going to put them... This is looking like a good spot, actually, because I think I'm going to be able to complete that ecosystem and this ecosystem. And so those will get me some good points. And I have to discard 2 things from the field. Oh, I don't want the rock ptarmigan anymore anyway, because I put the long-tailed weasel where I was thinking I hate giving up these synergy tokens, but there you have it. Giving them up. Okay, so discard the rock ptarmigan. I have to discard 1 more. Not the Canada lynx. The muskox. Oh, actually, that muskox looks really helpful. I'm liking that muskox. Could go. Oh no, but it's only got that Arctic alpine symbol. I don't know what to do here. I think I want the Canada lynx because it has both symbols. I can't refill that yet until the end of my turn. This is a tough decision. What about that spruce fir moss spider? It has the spring symbol. It's got a number 1, but it's only got the forest symbol, so I can't put it here. It could go here, and it is endangered. Okay, so let's keep that because that can go here and be diagonal to our red wolf, and hopefully we get a 1, 2, 3. Oh, but it doesn't have a desert symbol, but it has a spring symbol. Oh, that's such a good location for it. Maybe we don't worry about the ecosystem and we worry about the fact that it helps me fulfill 2 objectives. So I think we're keeping the spruce fir moss spider. Bald eagle is not helping me. I mean, it's helping me with habitat, like ecosystems, but it's not helping me with any objectives. So Canada lynx does. Well, just the endangered species, but I'm already going to fulfill that with the moss spider. Oh my goodness. You know what? I'm going to go for the bald eagle. Discard the bald eagle. That's probably a mistake. Okay. Well, refill those spots. What do we have? Doll sheep and a desert tortoise. Need either a 1 or a 3 here. And it could be desert. Do I have a 4 that's desert? Do not. Do I have a 3? I think my burrowing owl, I have this spring up here, and I think I'm going to, actually, let's put the spruce fir moss spider right here. I'm giving up on this ecosystem idea here. I mean, I might still get the 2 and the 3, but the 1 is not going to go because it doesn't match the jackrabbit, but it helps me fulfill an objective here. I really want to get all 4 objectives. That's worth 24 points. And it has a spring symbol, so if I get a spring symbol here or here, then I fulfilled that objective and I will be done with objectives, and that would be great. So our world's smallest tarantula goes on the board right there, and we move these down, and he does not share a habitat icon with that black-tailed jackrabbit, so I get no synergy tokens. All right. Ooh, Mexican spotted owl. 4. That 4 could go right there. Oh, no, it's got a fall symbol. I need a spring symbol. I need a 4 with a spring symbol on it. Oh, look at that, my muskox. Oh, but it needs to have desert or forest. Oh, that's not a spring symbol. Oh, this is so frustrating. Do I have a 3 that fits here? Do I have a 3 that fits here? You know, I might have to give up on that red wolf going this way because I have a dull sheep. It gets me a tag. And I have a muskox, which also gets me a tag, and it gets me a spring symbol here, which fulfills an objective. So let's do that. Okay, so we'll do that. Does not match any habitat symbols, so I don't get any synergy tokens, but I think it's a good move. We'll see. Sometimes you have to give up on the ecosystems. All right. Ooh, mountain goat 3. That could go right here. Oh, and another spring symbol. I've already fulfilled that, so I'm not worried about that objective. I'm not worried about this objective. Do I have all 3? Let's see. 1, 2, 3. I still need another tag. Oh, the doll sheep has a tag. So does the burrowing owl. Let's just go for the burrowing owl because that can go right here, and it gives me a synergy token. So now I have all 4 tags. I have all 4 objectives as long as I don't move anything. I have 4 tags. I have my, where is it, line of 3 fall symbols, and I have my little corner shape of spring symbols, and I have my 2 endangered species. So now I can focus on habitats, and I should probably focus on getting some more keystone species if I can, because they really multiply your points. Ooh, look at that. 1. I don't think I need a 1. What were we going to do here? Oh, doll sheep. Yep. Okay, let's do that. Let's put the doll sheep there. So that is an ecosystem, just the 2, 3, and 4. The red wolf doesn't fit in with that because it doesn't have that Arctic alpine symbol, but I think that's okay. Oh, wait, maybe we put the doll sheep here. Actually, I think, but we could put a mountain goat there. They're both good. But I don't need any more tags. These guys don't get me more points, so let me bring that back. Oh, and I never did flip that over. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Okay. I don't really want to move anything. Do I want to move anything? I don't think so. 3, 4, no, 5. Oh, man. Oh, you know what? I would really love to switch. Nope, because they've got the spring symbol. I don't have another 4 out there with a spring symbol. Okay, I would love to switch these because that has a desert symbol just like that and the long-tailed weasel. Oh, I think it's time to discard. Well, I can only discard one thing. Now, the top action is optional, and I don't think there's anything I really want to move. Well, maybe my spruce fir moss spider. I could move him over here, but then that would mess up that. Yeah. Don't know what to do. You know what? I'm going to forgo that top action. I don't want to move anything. I think I'm doing okay with where things are located. The only thing it would make sense, nope, doesn't even make sense to move that because that would mess up my objective. I just want to discard something, and I think I want to, ooh, that's a keystone species. Look at that bumblebee. I don't need a 1 though. Do I need, ooh, I do need a 1. Oh, but I wanted to put a 3, 4, but that's, that's not, I don't think that's happening. I think what I need to do, 3, 1, 2, 3, that, yeah, because that, maybe I could get a 1 that has a desert. Oh, like my bumblebee, but that's not endangered. That's my endangered thing going on there. Okay, let's just not do the top action and discard. I thought I had made a decision. I don't want to discard my doll sheep or my mountain goat because they both could be useful. Mexican spotted owl. Don't think. Well, could go 2, 3, 4, 3. I need a 3 with a desert symbol. I'm thinking my desert tortoise doesn't do me a lot of good, even though it is a keystone species. Oh, and it could go here. Okay, actually, let's not do that action. Let's do, I think we do the desert tortoise. Oh, is this a good idea? Maybe if I can get a desert symbol here, that would be great. Because now I have 2, 3, 4. All 3 of them has that desert grassland. All 3 of them have that desert grassland symbol. Look, it makes another spring L. It's a keystone species. It's endangered. Endangered doesn't get me more points, but the keystone species does. And look, I have 2 in that habitat, so that's fabulous. If I could get 1 up here, I might have to give up on that going that way, because that could be a lot of points. Do I have a 1 with a desert symbol? I do. Oh, I see. A good idea. I think it's a good idea. Oh, there's another 1 with a desert symbol, and it helps me with my spring objective. I think, okay, so I just placed the desert tortoise. I totally forgot to check habitat symbols. It has 1. I get 1 synergy token. I think, I just saw a good idea. I think if I put the bumblebee here, and that gives me this really nice, and it's a keystone species, because if we lost our bumblebees, let's talk about that keystone species for a minute. What the heck does that mean? It means that they have a big impact on the ecosystem, disproportionate to their numbers, that their numbers would imply. And so bumblebees' entire ecosystems would collapse without pollinators, and bumblebees are really important pollinators. So there we go. So now check our habitat symbols. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I can get 5 synergy tokens. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, that's great. Fill that. Now I have that prairie dog, which can go here, and that is a keystone species, and it would at least get me a 2 species ecosystem here, and it goes all the way across here. So let's do that. I'm going willy-nilly with these synergy tokens, but I might get some of them back. Okay. I did my dissertation research with black-tailed prairie dogs, basically looking at their possibility of evolving resistance to plague. All right, so we have a great ecosystem here with, well, just 1 keystone species here. But look, I have 1, 2, 3 keystone species here. All right. Oh, I only have 2 left. I need a 3. Okay, I think we need to make a decision on one of these 2. Neither one of them, I don't have any other 3s out there. What do I need here? That's sort of a throwaway, because I already have, unless I have a 4 with a keystone species. Nope. Okay, I think we're almost done. I think I need a 3 here. I'm just going to do the dull sheep. So this gets me these 3 synergy tokens. It will get me 2 synergy tokens for placing it because of habitat icon matching on the top and the bottom. Okay. What do I need here? I don't really need anything here. Oh, these don't match though. And there's no chance that they'll match. Look, there's 3 different ones. I could have done better there, but I didn't really have many options. My other 3 only had that Arctic alpine symbol. What if I moved? Do I have a 2 that has both the desert and the alpine? No, do not. That would be really nice to put here and just move these 2 over. That would be fabulous, because already this is not an ecosystem, and this one's not contributing here or here. Do I have a 1 with a desert symbol? 1 with a desert grassland symbol? No. Why don't we, I don't want to move anything just yet. So I'm going to ignore that, but I'm going to discard something. Let's discard this black willow. I don't need that black willow. Okay. That's even worse. Not only is it not desert grassland, it's actually wetland river But it is a keystone species, but it doesn't really help me because it doesn't match anything. I don't have any wetland river stuff out here that it could match with. Okay, well, what do we put here? I don't think there's anything that helps me. I don't have a 4 with a keystone species tag on it. Let's do that. Let's, this will help me. So let's do some research. I don't have any wild cards, but I can research an endangered species. So let's see what's one's going to get me the most points. And it has to already, not one of those, one of these. It has to already not have an endangered species, already not have a research token on it. And it should be part of a good habitat. I think here on my American bison. Okay, and so now I did that. I'm not going to move. Actually, you know what? I am going to move. I'm going to move this spruce fir moss spider 1 over because it still keeps my spring symbols in the right configuration. I'm not messing up anything here, but I'm potentially opening the door if I can find a 1 with a desert symbol. So these get turned over because I did all those. Well, I did 2 of them. I move this down 1 because I did the exhausted side. And now what I want to do is I want to do this one where I get 8 of these synergy tokens. They are worth points at the end, and it lets me discard 3 cards from there. So let's do that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so I'm going to discard. Only thing that helps me here is a 1 with a desert symbol. So actually, it doesn't matter what I discard. Let's just discard these because that's easiest. 1, 2, 3. Nope. No 1 with a desert symbol on it. So do I have a 3 with an Arctic symbol? I didn't discard one of those, did I? Oh, good. I do have a 3 with an Arctic symbol. So let's do that because I think I have a 1 with a desert symbol. 1, 2 with a forest with a keystone. Ooh, I do. Okay, and that's not a keystone, although that has a keystone. But look at this. I can do, but I only get rid of 2 synergy tokens, and it gives me 2 back if I do this one. So let's do that. This gives me an ecosystem going this way. You can only score 1 ecosystem per row or column. Okay, so my board is filled in. That triggers the end of the game. I probably should have done this first, but I didn't, so my bad. I could have gotten 2 extra points by researching an endangered species, like, say, that one. No, that wouldn't have helped me much. Do I have an endangered species part? Yep, I could have researched the black-footed ferret, but oh well, I didn't do it. So, it would have done me good to do it here, actually. Oh, that's too bad. That would have gotten me 2, 4, 6, 8 extra points. Oh, if I don't meet my 50-point minimum to get this scenario, then there's my bad decision for the day. I was in too much of a rush, and I should have done that action, and I didn't do it. Let's get this scored. So we have column 1. I have a small ecosystem here with the black-tailed prairie dog. That's really interesting. I didn't realize that when I was placing them. The black-tailed prairie dog and the black-footed ferret. So like I said before, the black-footed ferret is an obligate predator on black-tailed prairie dogs. So they prey on black-tailed prairie dogs for their food. And black-tailed prairie dogs are pretty cool. They form these family units, matriarchal, that's such a hard word to say, family units, where it's usually the mom and the kids under 1 year old and sisters. So the sons will leave when they're about a year old. Anyway, that's pretty interesting. They ended up together, but they do form an ecosystem. Truly they do. I have 1 keystone species, the black-tailed prairie dog, because they actually modify their environment so much and their burrows provide homes for many other species, all sorts of different kinds of species, reptiles, invertebrates, all sorts of invertebrates, burrowing owls. Oh, and look at this. We have burrowing owls right here. Wow. and the black-tailed jackrabbit. That's what happens when you end up with all the desert ones together. Pronghorn antelope. So these are all out on, I live near Pawnee National Grassland, so these species are all out there. I don't know about black-footed ferrets. I don't know if they've been reintroduced out there yet or not. Okay, anyway, so this is 2 species forming our ecosystem, so that would be worth 2 points for the cards, but then I have this keystone symbol, so I get to score that again, so that's worth 4 points. I don't have any research tokens. I don't know if the research tokens score. I don't think that issue is going to come up, though. Okay, and now I have column 2. I have 3 and 4, or 2 and 3. Now I can only score 1 ecosystem per column or row. So that does not have a keystone species. This also does not have a keystone species. They're both worth 2 points, so it doesn't really matter which one I say I'm scoring, but I only get 2 points there. Column 3, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, and they all have that desert symbol, the desert grassland symbol. And so we have bumblebee, desert tortoise, pronghorn antelope, and American bison. We have 3 of them that are, I'm still kicking myself for not doing that skill token. We have 3 of them that are keystone species, the bumblebee, the desert tortoise, and the American bison. I'm not as familiar with the desert tortoise, what their role in the ecosystem is, but I know they probably dig, just based on their anatomy. I'm not sure what makes them a keystone species, though. Bumblebees, we already talked about that. American bison are huge grazing animals so they have a large impact on the environment. Let's see. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4 points for the cards. And I'm going to score that 3 and then plus 1 point for my research token. So that's 5 points for that ecosystem, and I'm going to score it 3 times. So 5 times 3 is 15. And column 4, I have 2, 3, 4, 5. They all have this Arctic alpine symbol, and I have 2 research tokens. So that's worth 6 points as its base point value. And then one of them is a keystone species, the northwestern gray wolf. I talked about the role of wolves in Yellowstone in a recent blog article that I published, so you can take a look at that. I'll try and remember to link it down below. That's over on Board Game Geek, Bits and Biology. Anyway, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and we're going to score it twice. So that's 12 points. And then row 1, let's see, that's not an ecosystem, which is a shame because that's a keystone species. What a waste. We do have a 1 and a 2 right here that make an ecosystem with our bumblebee and our long-tailed weasel. They have the forest and the desert grassland symbol in common. And so that's 2 points for the cards, and then the bumblebee is a keystone species, so I score that again for 4 points. Row 2, we have our world's smallest tarantula, our spruce fir moss spider. But it does not go with our mountain goat. They live in different habitats, and the numbers are not consecutive. 2 and 3 are consecutive, but they're different habitats. And again, 2 and 3 are consecutive, but they're different habitats. So I have no ecosystem in row 2. So that's a big fat 0. 3, I do have 1, 2, 3, 4. They all have the desert grassland symbol. And I do have 1 keystone species, our black-tailed prairie dog. And so that's a base of 4 points. We score it twice for a total of 8. Row 4 has 2, 3, 4, 5, and I have a whopping 3 research tokens and 2 keystone species. So the base value for this ecosystem is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and I'm going to score it 3 times. So I score it once, I score it again for this keystone symbol, and I score it even again for this keystone symbol. So 7 times 3 is 21. I realized that I scored column 3 wrong, so that would have been a base. Here, do that, because it has 3 keystone species on it. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for the base. Score it again for the bumblebee. That brings us to 10. Again for the desert tortoise, that brings us to 15. And again for the American bison, that brings us to 20. Our secret objectives, they're not so secret in the solo game, but anyway. So we got the spring symbols in a corner configuration. We actually have a whole square over here and another corner over there. Wow. We have our fall symbols in a line right here. And wow, are those my only three? Those are my only three fall symbols. That was lucky. I mean, I guess there were some more out here if we were in a pinch, but oh, look at that grizzly bear. Why didn't I look at that? Oh, because I only had the one spot left over. That would have been a good thing to put here. Man, I wasn't thinking. I was in such a hurry at the end of the game. That would have scored me some, let me score that habitat again. Okay, anyway. Woulda, coulda, shoulda. 4 tags is what I'm looking for. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of them actually. I don't get points for going overboard, but I do get 24 points for my objectives. Synergy tokens score 1 point for each 3. So there's 3. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 points for synergy tokens. 36, 38, 42, 50, 71, 95, 101. Wow. We only needed to meet, our objective was 50 or more victory points. So we did exceptionally well. I think this first assignment is actually set up to be really easy because it allows you to move cards. So we did move the spruce fir moss spider to be able to score this. Oh, you know what? We actually scored this habitat. They both scored the same. Again, I would have gotten more if I'd put the grizzly bear right there. That would have been better. It lets you get this whopping 8 synergy tokens, which is oh so helpful. It lets you clear the field. Look at each one of these has 3 discards, that has 2. So that's very helpful. So I think that first scenario is meant to be relatively easy. I don't want to show you the second scenario because hopefully you might work through this on your own. Okay, so what do I like about this game? I love the puzzle of this game. I like trying to fit the numbers and balancing that with trying to achieve the objectives. I think that's really funny. And the art is beautiful. Again, there was, how many different artists worked on this? Let's see. So illustrations, and I looked up how to pronounce this, but I feel like I butcher it every time. Irem Erbelish, Jan Tamba, Alyssa Minold, and Patricia Casarubios. And so if you look at these different cards, so this would be Jan Tamba. You can see the name on each of these of who did the cards. This is the one that I have a hard time pronouncing. Irem Erbelish did the muskox. It almost looks like a photograph, but wow. I mean, some of them look more like paintings and some of them look more like photographs. Anyway, they've signed their names to each of the illustrations. The artwork is incredible, absolutely stunning. Even these wild cards with just the habitats and no animals are stunning. And I think, didn't we have one that was, we had one in our discard anyway that was a plant. We had a sugar maple. That's beautiful. That was Erbelish as well. Just gorgeous. I totally encourage you. It's coming up on bald eagle nesting season right now. So there are tons, I just discovered this last year, there are tons of channels on YouTube where you can actually follow a bald eagle nest through a season. Now I will warn you, it is not for the faint of heart because they're wild animals and life in the wild is hard. And the nest I was watching last year had some pretty heartbreaking moments in it, but one of the animals did fledge. So one of the eaglets did fledge, but there was 2 that did not make it through the season. Okay, so anything else I want to say about this game? I think it has great replayability because you have all of these different, I mean, there's 10 different objective cards. They're all very similar. but there's 10 of these different skill tokens. Now in a multiplayer game you would have 5 of these out. So I haven't actually played it multiplayer yet. I wonder at 3 and 4 players if maybe there might be a little bit of analysis paralysis slowing the game down. But I think at 2 players this should be a fun game, and actually to support that idea, I think well, I know I don't think it's live yet, but there's a Kickstarter that will start soon, I think, if it hasn't already, where they're doing a second edition of this game. I think they're updating a little bit of the artwork on the cards, but one thing I have heard is they're reducing the player count down to 2. Now the only change we make to bring this up to a 3 or 4 player game is we double the amount of cards that we use, but they're literally copies of it's basically 2 sets of the same cards, and so I can see why they're reducing it to a 2-player game. I think this would be an awesome 2-player game, and I can't wait to play it at 2 players. Again, 3 and 4, it might bog down a little bit. I don't know if you've played it at 3 or 4. If you could let us know in the comments what your thoughts are on that. But anyway, I really enjoy this game. This is currently one of my very favorite solo games to play. It goes pretty quick, and again, beautiful to look at and think about. All these different animals and their roles in the ecosystem, and if nothing else, you can smile at the world's smallest tarantula. So I think that's all I have for you today. Thanks, as always, for your time and attention, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!